Hello everyone, welcome to my jewelry box creations, and today we're gonna make this cute little bracelet. It's You can stack it and layer it with your other bracelets, add a little pop of color, and it's made from Moby duos and 3mm and bicones. If you don't have the Moby duos, I believe that a super duo will work just fine, or another 2-hole, ovalish bead. So let's go ahead and get a materials list going here. I've got 11-0, Toho 11-0s. These are Polaris. I've got some Moby duos. I got some Czech Swarovski 3mm pastel blue rounds or pearls. I've got 4mm bicones in air blue opal, and I've got some 15-0 Polaris blue seed beads. I've got this a small toggle clasp. I got a size 10 beading needle, and I don't know, about a wingspan or so of fire line. And I've got a stop bead on with about a 7-inch tail to sew in. So get your materials together, come back, and we'll get started. Alright, we will start by picking up 8 11-0 seed beads. Alright, bring those down to your stop bead. And go up through the bottom 2. And go down through the side 2. We're going to make these into squares. But right now we're just going to reinforce this first one. But we're going to take it 2 at a time to hold the integrity of the shape. And we're going to go through the 2 before the stop bead. And we're going to go ahead and put on our clasp. So we're going to pick up 2 more 11-0s, 4mm bicone, and 1 11-0. And bring those down. And then we're going to pick up probably the loop end of the clasp, so it don't get caught. The other end will get caught while we're working on things more readily than the loop. And then we're going to pick up 1 more 11-0 and come down through that bicone. Okay, make sure one of the 11-0, there's an 11-0 on each side of the loop, like that. And then we're going to pick up 2 more 11-0s, and we are going to come through the opposite side of those 2 11-0s that we were working out of before the stop bead. There we go. And there we have that put on. Now let's go back up through and reinforce while we're here. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, let me move this. Kind of hard to work with this stop bead where it is, but we can do it. So it looks like our clasp is coming. I did something wrong. Let's see. For some reason that I've only got thread coming out of one of the 11 O's. Looks like I came in. Okay, I think I came in the wrong side there. There we go. There's the right side. So we're just working out those two 11 O's. Now let's go back up and reinforce. Come up through the two 11 O's, the bicone, one of the 11 O's, the loop, the other 11 O, and the bicone. And then the two 11 O's. Okay, and we'll be back down here to put on, we'll be putting on embellishments, so we will reinforce that one more time when we come back. Let's go down through the two side 11 O's, and then the next two 11 O's that we'll be building off of. I think we're going to go ahead and embellish as we go. I think that's what I did. Let's pick up a 15-0, a 4mm bicone, a 15-0. We're coming down, our thread's coming this way, so that's why we want to go through the top and come down through those. Oops, only two 11 O's. And pull. Okay. We want to pull them straight, so we're going to pick up one 15-0 and come up through the bottom of that bicone. And then we're going to pick up another 15-0. And we're going to come down through the top of those. Make sure your 15 O's come and lay like they're supposed to in an X pattern. Let me see. It probably would have been better if I went through the top on both of those. Next time we will definitely make sure to go through the top beads. Or, yeah, the top 11 O's when we do that, but see how they're coming sideways, and I don't want that. So, but let's go ahead and pick up a 3mm, a Mobyduo on one Moby's. There's a flat side, which is the bottom, and a rounded side that's the top. I want to go through on the left hole. I want to pick up a 3mm, 2 11/0 seed beads, and another 3mm round. Bring those down, and then we're going to come through that, down through that next hole, that second hole in that Mobyduo. Pull. So you have that. And then pick up another 3mm round and come. If you can't tell where your two beads are, flip it over. You see clearer on the back. Come through those 2 11/0s on the end of the previous unit. Okay. Now make sure everything's pulled down tight. To do that, you might have to grab these 2 11/0s and give them a pull, and then come down and pull your thread. See how these 2 3mm are pulled together? So we want to come over and go down through that $3mm and pull those together, and then go back up through that 3mm. That Mobyduo. $3mm and 11/0, 2 11/0s. And that's what we have for so far. Pick up 6 11/0 seed beads. We've already got 2 of our 8, so we need 6. You'll come out of one side of the 2, go through the opposite side, needle through, and pull. And we'll go up through the 2 on the side. And the 2 on the top. We'll pick up a 15-0 bicone, 15-0, and we want our thread to be going the same way. So we're coming out the top. We want to be coming out the top on this side as well. Pull, and that'll pop that in there. And how are we going to get, let's see, to get where we want to be so that our 15-0s will look right, we need to come up through those 2, then down through that center 15-0 bicone 15-0, and then down through those 2 on the bottom, and pick up a 15-0, go through the middle of that bicone, it's better, pick up another 15-0, and go through the top 2. Here we go, that's better. And that'll put our seed beads right where they need to be. And then we'll come down through this side to 11s. And then we just start over, pick up a 3mm, a Mobyduo, 2 11-0 seed beads, another 3mm, and slide them down. Come down through the second hole in that Mobyduo. Wait a minute, I forgot one. 3mm. So it's a 3mm. It's a 3mm Mobyduo, 3mm, 2 11-0s, and a 3mm. I just came up with this pattern last night while playing around with these Mobyduos. Pull. Make sure they're all. I had it. See, I wanted to warn you about making sure that you hold it and realize what side's the top, what side's the bottom. I just had it flipped and I put my duo one upside down. And that won't work. That won't work at all. Let's try this a third time. So, let's see. It's on the right side this time. Mobyduo, 3mm, 2 11/0s, and 3mm. Now let's try this. Come down through that next hole in the Mobyduo. Pull all your beads down tight. Pick up another 3mm. And come through on the opposite side of those 2 11/0s that we're working out of. Here we go. Let's go up through that 3mm. Let's go back down through that next 3mm to tie those, pull those together like the other two are pulled together. Then back up through. What am I doing? I keep pulling it loose somehow. Let's see. Grab these 2 seed beads and pull them down. Alright, let's go back up through that next 3mm to see if it helps. Now, I'll go up through that. I don't know what's going on here. I can't get it tight. Let's go up through that Mobyduo. There we go. And 3mm. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me try to get this straight. Okay, it wasn't letting me tighten it up because I had split my thread. Way back, I guess probably my first stitch, I had split my thread and it wasn't letting me, that's why it wasn't letting me tighten the thread up. Alright, so let's pick up 6 11/0s. And needle through the opposite end of where your thread's coming out of those 2 seed beads. And then we're going to go through these 2 and the 2 on the side here. Alright, and then we're going to pick up a 15/0, a bicone, and a 15/0. And our thread's coming out the bottom, so that's the way we want it to come out over here. make sure your bicone comes on the top. Okay, we want to needle through these two, up through the center, the 15-0, bicone 15-0. And 15-0 is kind of tight. Some of these finishes or colors, I've noticed in seed beads, sometimes it like blocks the hole, clogs the hole up a little bit. Okay, now we want to go through these two 15-0 so we can put our other, or 11-0 so we can put our 15-0s on. So come through the top of that bicone. Oops. And pick up another 15-0. And you want to go through the bottom two 11-0s. Oops, I think I came through the wrong 11-0s. Yes, when you are putting on the 15-0s, it might be best to turn it over so you can see clearly that you're going through the right set, the right beads, because that'll really throw you off. All right. So you just start again with picking up the 3mm Mobyduo, 3mm, 211-0s, 3mm, and that's what you do. So do that, make the length probably about minus a quarter of an inch to an inch for your clasp. So make it to length, come back, we'll put the clasp on, and do the last step. All right. I just wanted to pop in long enough to say, when I was designing this bracelet last night, I was sewing it together completely different, and then I got a pattern down, a better pattern, and easier to sew it together. So in that first pattern, these top beads were closer together, and so we had to sew these bottom ones together. We don't have to worry about that. So when I told you to go up through these and make a circle and sew them together, that's not necessary anymore. Okay? Sorry about that. I just wanted to let you know before you really got started that you do not have to do that step, because when I added these two beads in this step, it spread them apart just like the bottom ones. Okay? Okay. We've come down to the end of our bracelet, and we're going to end, of course, with this component here with the bicone. And we're just going to end just like, do the clasp just like we did on the other side. Pick up two 11-0 seed beads, a bicone, an 11-0, bring them down, pick up the clasp loop, pick up another 11-0, go down through the bicone, pick up two more bicones, and turn it over so you can see the seed beads. and go through the opposite side of those 2 seed beads. Alright, make sure you go around. I'm running out of thread, so I'm going to wait till I replace my thread to come back up and reinforce a couple times. But then what we're going to do is pick up a seed bead, 11-0. I use 11-0 delicas in this bracelet along the, do you see here? But I'm going to try 11-0 seed beads. So pick up a 11-0 seed bead and go through those 2 11-0 seed beads, running along the side. Pick up another 11-0. We're just going to go all the way down the sides of the bracelet doing this, and go through that 3mm Moby 3mm pearl. Yeah, that works. Pick up an 11-0. Go through the 2 11-0s here. Pop it in. Pick up an 11-0. Go through the 3mm pearl, Mobyduo, 3mm pearl. Pull and pop it in. And this, what this does is it gives your bracelet better shape and structure. And then we're just going to go all along the edges. Go down this side. It's better to do it from the back side so you can see the units clearly. So go down this side. You can go up and reinforce your clasp again if you can, and start down the other side. If you can't reinforce your clasp, just, go through these end 2 seed beads and come down the other side. Come back and we'll look at our bracelets. Okay, here we are. And here's our bracelet. And when you finished, we just sewed in our ends and did a few half-hitch knots. If you don't know how to do a half-hitch knot, just go back to the end of one of my videos. I usually show how to do that on all my videos. Alright, and here's the first one I made. And see, they'd be really cute to stack because they're so small. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.